to make money, you know, I mean, you can kind of talk to them through that. But if their reason is to have fun or whatever, then you can talk to them about, well, we have a monthly training and that's a lot of fun. The girls get together. You know, you can start talking about other things, not necessarily just shows if they're, you know, thinking they don't have enough time for that. So
that's good.
Okay. What's the next
I don't
one?
know any people. That's a pretty common one too.
Yeah. What do you?
I don't know enough people to have a show.
I tell them that my wonderful sponsor Bonnie handed out invitations in Target and Walmart and the grocery store when she first moved here, and they should just start doing that.
Yeah.
Just talk to everybody.
I say when I first went to my first show, I fell in love with the jewelry. I knew I wanted to have a show. It was in the back of my head that I wanted to do this, but I sat there and I was like, okay, I thought of 5 people just sitting there, and I was like, okay, I can get 5 people there. I can do that. And I had like 12 or 13 people at my training show.
Wow. Good.
I had 12 or 13 people at my show, and then like 2 or 3 weeks later at my training show, I had 12 or 13 people.
Yeah.
So you start thinking of more people, and you tell everyone to bring a friend. And I'll give them an extra ticket for the drawing if they bring a friend. So.
And what if people say, then people usually say, well, I don't think I know enough people to do a show, or how do I get shows? Then what do you say to that objection? Is that on there? Is that sort of part of that one? Okay.
Next one is, I don't really wear jewelry, so.
Okay. Okay, well let's stick with this one. So, because that's one that I get a lot. I have a lot of people that say, well, I mean, it kind of goes along with I don't know people, but just how do I know that I'm going to get shows? That's what people always people ask me. How do I know that I'm going to get enough shows? So how do you deal with that question?
I tell them you start out with your friends and family, people that you know and work with in church and all that stuff, and say you get 3 bookings, because back when I used to average 3 bookings, I could say I average 3 bookings. So 3 of your friends or 3 of your family members have shows, and then they have their own group of friends besides the people that were there, so they get 10 of their friends together, and guess what? Each one of those friends has their own group of 10 or more friends, so that's how it just kind of branches out like that.
That's a pretty easy one. Yeah, and that one's not, I mean, that's not really tough to, I get that, that's my number one objection, is people will ask me that, well, how do I know, how am I going to get enough shows? That's what they say. So maybe there's something in the way that I'm doing my OP that I'm not emphasizing our hostess plan enough, or something. I don't know. I mean, because it's kind of good. And again, it's not to say that you're doing anything wrong. I mean, objections are objections. But if you're getting the same one a lot, sometimes it's good to go back and evaluate, okay, am I not explaining this well enough? Or how am I explaining this? Or is there a better way to explain it, or something? Because for me, because I'm thinking this out right now as I'm talking about this, I'm obviously, something about the way that I'm explaining it, that's the objection that I'm getting. So I'm probably not doing a good enough job. Maybe I'm not emphasizing the hostess plan enough or something, I don't know. But drawing from experience is always good with people, because I tell them about my training show, just like you tell people. I tell them about my training show. You know, that I didn't have a great training show, that I only knew about 5 people. There was 5 people there, and I got 1 booking, and then I did 1 booking. I did one show with my sister-in-law, and from that show I got 2, and then from this one I got 3, and this, you know, and I just explained, just like you said, you very quickly branch out from there.
And then I also add in, and the reason they want to book shows is because all the free jewelry. I mean, you saw how much free jewelry you get. That's, people want to get free jewelry.
And that's what I say when I'm doing the opportunity. When I get to the hostess benefits page, I say, and this is why hostesses come back for more.
Yeah.
That's what I say.
Yeah, no, that's good. And I love the line, and it was like 2 days before Joni came, I was doing a one-on-one, and the lady said, well, or when I was following up with her, she said, well, my husband said, well, well, maybe you like jewelry, but I don't think a lot of women necessarily do. And I was probably kicking myself, because there's a million, of course, after the fact, I thought of a million different things I could say, but I kind of just said, oh, no, that's not true, or I just said something sort of lame. I don't know. I mean, I could have handled that much better, but it was just kind of threw me off, because I was thinking, yes, they do, you know, like, of course they do. But then when Joni, I loved Joni, well, how Joni said in her one-on-one, or her OP, she said, just look around, like anywhere you go, next time you're at Target or the grocery store or anywhere, look around and see almost every woman has at least earrings on. And it's like, it's not like that's like rocket science sort of thing to say, but it was just like, I didn't think of putting it that way. It's true. And since she said that, I was looking in Target. It's true. Even little diamond studs or anything. I mean, women like something, some sort of jewelry. So we kind of led into the next one. I don't wear jewelry or whatever that
I really don't wear jewelry, so I couldn't sell it.
I've never, ever gotten that one.
I probably have. Besides Nikki.
Oh, that's right. Maybe I have Miss Chili Pepper. I guess I have gotten that one. That's an easy one, though. Like I said, I mean, you just say, you know what, we'll just, you know, you're going to have a whole case full. You're going to start. You know, my sister had to wrestle me into necklaces because when I was like, I'll wear earrings. I always wear earrings. I'll wear earrings and bracelets, but I would not wear a necklace. She's like, you have to wear a necklace. I'm like, no. I'm just not. She's like, no, you are going to wear a necklace. I mean, she like had to force me into it. I felt so weird. I would stare at myself in the mirror like I thought wearing necklaces was so weird. So, but that's I think that's an easy. Do you guys think that's an easy one? Maybe that's just my opinion. To deal with, I mean, to address with people.
Because I used to never wear jewelry because of the Army.
Mm-hmm.
It was a hassle to put in a pair of earrings and have to take them out.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, now I die if I have to leave the house without any jewelry.
But did you think, was that an objection in your mind? Like, did you think of that or express it?
Mine was the first one, second one, and third one. To Gayla.
And how did she do?
Apparently she overcame.
I guess so, yeah. Because here you are. Good job, Gayla.
Well, I just had I don't wear jewelry and I can't wear jewelry with my sister.
Oh,
because she's a massage therapist.
Oh, okay.
And she works a lot, and she's like, I can't. I love the ring you gave me, and I wore it for 2 days, but now I'm gonna have it off for a week, and I'm gonna forget I even have it. And I was like, well, you go out. I mean, you go hang out with your friends all the time. Why don't you put jewelry on before you leave the house? You know, why do you think only when you go to work you have to dress up? That's stupid.
Yeah.
She was like, oh yeah, I guess.
Yeah, that's why I mean this objection. I think do you think it's an easy one to overcome?
Yeah.
Just to say.
Yeah, I do because I have the same thing. I used to not wear it hardly at all either because I was in the Army.
It's good.
But once I got this, and I said. And I sometimes, depending on how much we talk about it, I tell him a little story about, I tell my husband, okay, well, I'm almost ready to go. And he'll be like, do you have your jewelry picked out? No, you're not ready to go. Go, let's go play a video game now. Because I've got so much to choose from, and then I put it all on and I get his opinion. So it's fun to me now. Yeah. So it's way different.
And that's a good, and if you ever do get this objection, you know, you guys, well, I guess we can all say that. I mean, and most people will say that. Almost anyone you'll ask in real, they'll say, I never really wore jewelry before this. So you can, again, drawing from that personal experience and saying, I was in the military, I couldn't wear it. And once I started wearing it when I was going out and about, you know, I loved it and I couldn't leave the house without it, and you know, and that's what and you can also lead into, that's what really starts to happen with our customers and hostesses, because you know, you guys probably have this now that you've done several, you have a lot of repeat customers. I have people who came to their very first show and only bought, you know, little earrings or whatever, and now we're working up to like the big stuff and they're having their own show, and you know, so that's a good way to lead into that too, that not only does this happen with the jewelry ladies, but also with our customers and hostesses. They start loving it and wanting it and doing more shows. And so
their wish lists are never ending.
I have a hostess who has her
and then the catalog comes
color
out.
coded. She has it coded red, like red. Wait, no, like green is like must have now. Orange is like I can wait. Like purple, like she has it all color coded.
Oh so wow! Funny.
Well, it's like Buffy. Her wish list is two sheets long, probably about this wide, and she just checks it off as she buys it.
Yeah.
Or adds to.
She wasn't a real big jewelry wearer before.
No, she wasn't.
She came to her first show either.
Yeah. And personal stories. I was just listening to a Belinda Ellsworth. This is a little bit off topic, but not really. It pertains. And she was talking about. Like during your presentation, like talking about your product and ways to, you know, verbiage and stuff, which is not a really strong suit of mine. We're going to talk about that at the next training. I need help with that. Just, you know, verbiage, just sort of that sales verbiage. And she was talking about how so often we get up there and we say like, oh, she was talking about books, I think, or children's toys or something, and she was using the example like you keep saying, and this is Johnny's favorite one for this, and this is Johnny's favorite one that. And after a while, everyone in your audience is sitting there going, well, whatever, Johnny.